the key thing for me was that there's no trust with Watchfinder, and they are trading off their name, Watchfinder, and they're trading off past deeds. The message that needs to get out there is that Watchfinder is just as bad as every other grey market dealer. They are not like Heinz Beans, an establishment that you can trust. They are sharks.
Yeah, I mean, call me naive, but all the previous... Yeah, I'm going back 10 years. The transactions were very good. You're quite right. Something's changed over recent years, because when they send you an offer, they kind of honoured it.
Welcome, Kevin. Would you like to share your story with my audience?
Hi, Brenny. Absolutely. So just to share a story I've had with Watchfinder UK with the viewers. Firstly, I've had multiple transactions with them over the years. I don't have a real axe to grind with them as such. But basically, I must have made an inquiry at some point against a watch, and then I received a marketing email sort of saying that they'd like to buy my watch. So, as you do, more out of curiosity, that I filled in the details, and I received an offer of up to 3465. So the watch in question is a 1603 Rolex datejust 36mm, and it's a 1971. And this is really important because the watch is, 54 years old. And the watch it's a lovely watch. I know we all say that, but it is genuinely a lovely thing. On its original Jubilee, and the bracelet is obviously stretched. And for those who don't know, it's not the metal that stretches, and especially on the Jubilee, there's a lot of links, and over time, you know, you can pick up an early 2000 Submariner, and there will be stretch on it if you hold it up by the bracelet. This folds back on itself. Fully accept that, but it's 54 years old. So anyway, received the packaging, sent it in, and then finally received an offer of 2.6. So that was on two conditions on the watch. One, they were arguing the dial was different to the one I clicked on the inquiry. Mine's the linen pan dial, which is actually more sought after. So it's a silver dial with a tiny bit of texture that looks a little bit like linen. It's a lovely thing, and in the right light, if you turn it to one side, you get a very slight tinge of champagne. It's a gorgeous thing. So I don't get that argument, but on that basis, they've knocked me £900 off the initial offer. So their argument is they need to they said initially refurb the bracelet. Well, you can't refurb it. You can't send it to Rolex. They won't refurb that bracelet. I believe the only thing you can do is send it off to somewhere in Hong Kong, and it's £300-400, and they'll kind of fill it. I don't quite know the process, but they fill the gaps in the links, and they'll restore it. But why would you bother? You know, it's not going to fall off. It's just stretched. And to be honest, it's like a comfy old pair of shoes. That I've never had a watch as comfortable because of where it is. It's light, it's thin, and the bracelet fits like a glove. And basically that's my experience. I just feel I've wasted my time, and I'm now concerned of what they've done to the watch. So I said, we'll just send it back. I actually thought, well, they had a Peter Blake in at £3,000. Strong money. It only had a box, but it could be any box. But there's no cards. But I thought, do you know what? I really want that watch. Even if we could have worked something out, you know, we might have been able to do some form of exchange. But basically, I've been ghosted. No, it's 2.6. That's your lot. So they're not even willing to look at helping, you know, in terms of part exchange. So, Yeah, just not happy. You know, they're all sweetness and light when they think they're selling you something. As soon as it goes the other way, I'm just getting very short, snotty emails. What's your address, basically? So yeah, that's been the experience so far. I just think it's very, very poor. Just to give a little bit of, without boring everybody to death, it's a strong bid, 3465, strong bid. So I'm thinking, right, that's good. But we're coming up to Christmas. Somebody will buy that. Why are they doing it? Well, I'm thinking it's a birthday watch. Somebody will buy it as a Christmas present, and they're selling them on the website anywhere from 3555 for one that looks as though it's been in the bottom of a lake on some crap leather whatever strap, up to sort of early 5,000. So it all made sense. You know, I've done my homework as to why they've done it, and you know, and that's where we are. So I just find it all very poor. I've now got, from your experience, where you boxed it, photographed it, videoed it, ended up with a scrap. I'm just panicking now, thinking, have they opened the watch up? I've asked them, they've not responded, because I don't want them. If that watch has arrived and they're saying, so let's go back to it. Let's say the dial's incorrect and then they're not happy with the bracelet. In any other form of business, I would pick up the phone and say, look, before we put it on the timographer, just to let you know that there's this before we go any further. And I'd have just gone, well, I'm not happy, but send it back. But have they been rooting around in it? What have they done to it? What's it going to come back like? And I'm just really quite worried about, and it hasn't come back. I'm not saying it's had any damage or anything. I'm just slightly concerned, and following the video you did of your Omega, where it had a huge scratch.
Multiple scratches. I don't like to interrupt people, but I want to just clarify. When I sent my watch back to them, they gave me an offer. It was less than what I paid for the watch, but I'd only had the watch 3 months. I bought it off them. I took the loss, and I did a pre-video where the watch was immaculate, and with them receiving the watch, messing with the watch, they said it needed a polish, and they took £150 off the offer, and they sent me pictures of the scratches. I sent them pictures of the watch before they had it, and they denied it. It doesn't matter that you can prove, even a packing video, they just denied it. And without boring people, you can watch the video. They ended up offering me the watch back and a free polish. And I said to them, are you stupid? You're charging me for a polish. You're now offering me a free polish if I take the watch back. Why don't you just give me the money that you shilled out of me for the polish? And it just went round in circles, but I've never had that money back. And they're saying, well, you took the money. You complained afterwards. Of course I took the money, because you had my watch. I had to get my money before I complained, because God knows what else you would have done to the watch. The good thing for you, Kevin, is you haven't made a complaint. So hopefully they will just pack your watch up and send it back. With me, I kicked up such a furore. I was expecting them to kick the watch around the office before they sent it back to me. That's my experience with them. I want to just help you out here, because my channel is for helping subscribers. The watch you have and a Peter Blake, I can organise you a Japanese import full set Peter Blake in a straight swap for that watch if you want it. That's easy to do. The guy I'll put you onto, he sells them all day for 2,400 to 2,600 in what he likes to call really good condition. And a fully serviced full set should be $3,000. So you buying and you trading that for a naked, you were actually losing. You were gonna give away a watch that they were willing to pay you £2,400 for, to buy a watch that they were selling for double its price, because a naked Peter Blake trade £1,500. The box is BS. You can buy them boxes in a knacker's yard for 50 quid. So the fact that they're selling that Peter Blake with a box is horse. They're trying to sell you a naked Peter Blake for £3,000. So you would have lost. You would have lost both ways. You would have lost on the watch you traded and the watch you bought. I challenge you now to go and try and sell them a naked Peter Blake, and then you text me back going, yes, Brenny, they offered me £1,350 for a watch. They were wanting to sell me for £3,000. I don't mind companies. I don't mind companies being in business, but I don't like people being ripped off. And I think the initial offer of £3,460 was fair, was high, and I would have expected them to do the polishing trick on you, but the service and all this other stuff, this £900 kick is their MO. I think it's what they were going to do once they got hold of your watch, but that's just my opinion and my experience from dealing with this company.
Well, the problem is, Brenny, a lot of people will swallow it. They won't understand what's actually happening because they think you just trust them. And you know, it's like you were saying, you take your watch to your grave and you've got your wife or whatever that's getting rid of all of this stuff. Well, a lot of people will just take it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're an interesting company because they're owned by Richemont Group, so people need to understand. So, A. Son, Bon Mercier, Cartier, IWC, JLC, Panerai, Piaget, and Vacheron Constantin. Now, if you look, why would they do that? Well, it's quite clever, isn't it? Because what they're doing, they're protecting the new price of the watch, aren't they? Because by inflating the market with them selling used ones, it just protects the new price. But they're also quite clever, and they do it with Omega and Rolex in terms of the buying volume. So they kind of control that market as well. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're selling an Omega, a white dial, Speedy, same as yours, 24 plate, 7,750. The two of them up at that.
Yeah, above MSRP. Seriously. Above MSRP.
But do people do it?
Well, there is people that don't have the money for the watch and will trade watches. So that's what they're hoping for. They're doing trade sales, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have a guy who I have traded a watch with. I traded my Snoopy for a Speedy and took the difference. The only difference between me and the flipper is I kept my Snoopy for 2 years and I lost £4,000 by not selling it the day I got it. And I never truly used the watch. I found the watch more a novelty. And I always missed my sapphire sandwich. And when I got the Snoopy, the white Speedy didn't exist. And then when I finally got hold of one at the right price, because I am not paying MSRP for a Speedy, I did the deal. And then there was problems with the watch. That's fine, right? But it's all been fixed under warranty. So yeah, they're relying on people to swallow the deal because one, they're skint, two, they're trading watches and they have no idea that they're paying top money for a watch and getting lowest possible money for theirs. They're losing twice. You give somebody £3,000, right, and they say no, I'm gonna take 4,000 off you, and you go, really? Yeah, I'm gonna take 4,000 off you for the three. Oh, I'm not doing that. Really? You don't want to give me 4 instead of 3? And I'll credit you for 3. No, I want to give you 4. And then a week later, they try and do the same thing to you, but they want to give you half, right? So they a week later say, you know that £3,000 we borrowed off you? No, I gave you 4. No, you gave us 3. We're going to give you back half of that. Now, people are now going, what is Brenny on about? What I'm on about is, I'm trying to take the watches out of the equation. You're giving them something of a certain value. They're paying you dog poo less than it's worth. and then they're selling you something that's worth half of what they're selling it. You're losing twice, because the day you need to sell that watch back to them, as in the day they have to give you your money back, right? They are giving you back even less. There's no way you'd hand over £3,000 to somebody, but they say, no, give me 4 and we'll call it 3. But that's effectively what they're doing. I know this isn't going to make sense. It makes sense to me, but you're giving away free money. You're giving away free money when you sell them the watch, and you're giving away free money when you buy a way overpriced watch off them. There's something else you need to know. They are an authorized Omega service center. When they say to you, if you send back an Omega, oh, we're going to knock a service off you, they're not paying that. They already have the watchmakers in-house who are salaried anyway, right? I don't know if they have a salaried, I don't know if they have a salaried Rolex guy. How Rolex CPO works is this. They have to pay Rolex £1,000. They then get the watch back from Rolex and they add 30% to the watch. So if they took a watch in that costs £2,000, they end up paying Rolex £1,000, and then they have to add 30% to that watch when it comes back. So then they have to retail that watch at £4,000 to make their money. If you brought that watch into Rolex, they would automatically not take the watch, because they know they have to add the value of a complete new bracelet to the package, and therefore when they try and sell it, it's going to be overpriced. And my point is this: when Watchfinder offered you that money on that watch, they would have known the bracelet would be in that condition. And
54 years old.
Yeah.
What more do you need? I mean, come off it. You find one with the original bracelet, by the way, with the Rolex coronet still, it's been polished, of course it has, but it's still visible. Most of it, you can't even make head and tail of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think, customer service has fallen in this country to such a level that people are giving them good reviews, Watchfinder, if you go on Trustpilot, which I never believe anyway, but my point being is everybody just happy now? Because the photos are goddamn awful. You go on there and you can't make head and tail of it. You get like a Watches of the Veil, they'll put effort in on every angle, proper photography, and present it absolutely superbly. Go on there, it's just a white, you can't make head and tail of it.
Yeah.
Cards are all faded out, so you can't tell when it's had a service. I've had other ones before where they've claimed it's been through the service centre. They'll never tell you what's been done with it. I mean, come off it. Are we all happy that all they do is send you a box, you post it in, they post it out, there's no handover, nothing? Is this the world we're in where everybody's happy with that? Because that's all they're doing. And as I say, it's no axe to grind, and previous bits and pieces I've done have been okay.
Same with me. I had a really good experience, and it was only 150 quid, but it was the principle. I knew I sent them back a perfect condition watch. I'd worn it on camera on the channel, and I'd actually done them a nice video praising their service. And I just didn't like the watch in the end, and I was willing to take the loss, and I just assumed they were taking back the watch that I just got off them. And actually the watch I sent them back was better than the original watch, because the original watch, when I purchased it, they reached out to me and they said, there's a problem with the NATO strap, we're organising you a new one. That NATO strap is £330. They have given me an offer, they've got my watch, God knows what they've done to it, but they are now saying that they want to take a servicing fee off a watch I bought from them. Isn't this crazy? This is proof of life for Watchfinder that the watch is in pristine condition. Now this is what you guys should do. I can't stress that enough. With every single watch that you send to anybody, you get the condition of the watch down pat before you do it, before you send it away, guys, because you just don't know what they report back to you as the condition after the fact. Because once you send it, you are no longer in control, my friend. Do you get all that? You with me on that? You are in control. Check the mechanism works, push it in, push it out. Yeah, see that? It's all working. Now the irony is I'm selling it back to Watchfinder. If there's a problem with the watch, Watchfinder can use its own warranty to fix it, can't they? Because I haven't worn the watch. Now to preserve the watch while I'm filming, as I don't want to damage it in any way, shape or form, I'm going to just put it back in the Omega containment vessel. I'll put it back in here because you don't want to be damaging it, guys. Watchfinder and myself had a very lengthy negotiation. They gave me the offer, see the offer, 6490, right? And I wasn't happy with that offer. I tried to get all my money back because I hadn't worn the watch. It's in pristine condition, it's in the exact condition they sold to me for, but no. 6490 was the absolute max. But if you read the small print, it said we'll inspect, test and authenticate your watch and advise you if work is required to meet our standards for resale, which may mean we'll deduct a servicing fee. We'll confirm this in your final offer. This watch can't need servicing because I've only had it off them in the past 4 months and I've never worn it. And if the watch needs work, surely that should be covered under their own warranty. And here we go, guys. They have given me an offer. They've got my watch. God knows what they've done to it, but they are now saying that they want to take a servicing fee off a watch I bought from them. Isn't this crazy? So now their offer has gone down to 6340. I've been on the phone to them and I've told them I'm not happy. I'm pretty sure they're going to tell me to take it or leave it. But I just wanted to make you all aware of the nasty, dirty tricks that even Watchfinder is pulling on sellers at the moment. What I'm going to do as well is I'm going to release the audio from the conversation where he backtracks. I'm going to put that audio over the section where I'm showing you the condition of the watch, and then you can judge for yourself, guys. Yeah, everybody in this game's out to get you, aren't they? They really are a shower of shites. So when I sold them back the exact set, they were getting it with a brand new, unworn, factory sealed NATO strap. When I reached out to them and said, I want to sell it back to you, I was shocked that they were giving me less money, and I just took it. So I was already taking less. And then when they hit me with the initial reach out was the watch needs a service. And I'm like, how does it need a service? It's covered under your warranty. And then they said, oh no, it's got scratches on it. And then they sent me the pictures. And I'm going, look at my pictures. I said, you've either done one or two things. You've either scratched my watch, messing with it, or those pictures are of another watch. And
yeah.
The key thing for me was that there's no trust with Watchfinder, and they are trading off their name, Watchfinder, and they're trading off past deeds. What the message that needs to get out there is that Watchfinder is just as bad as every other grey market dealer. They are not like Heinz Beans, an establishment that you can trust. They are sharks in the sea of sharks, and people just need to be aware of that. I know they're running a business, but you just got to be careful. You need to know if you send back your watch to Watchfinder with what you think is a sales price subject to the small print, you're in for a shock when the watch hits the other end and they start to tell you this is wrong, that is wrong, this is wrong, and then they knock like you £900 off their offer.
Yeah, I mean, call me naive, but all the previous... Yeah, I'm going back 10 years. The transactions were very good. You're quite right. Something's changed over recent years, because when they send you an offer, they kind of honoured it. We're not even talking a small... They will not talk to me of anything above now 2.6. It's not like, well, do you know what? I'll help you with this one, give you a bit. I can't give you the 3,465. I'd have done a small chip. It would have been, a couple of £100 or something. Just because, we'll negotiate. But they're not even having it. I'm getting almost ghosted. It's like, no, 2.6, that's your lot. And they're not knocking anything off anything else now. So, yeah, not good. Not good at all. But you live and learn.
I think what we'll do is
We just need to support the independents, your watches of the Vale that do this in a proper way.
What we'll do is this, we'll fix this together. You get the watch back and you send me a video of the watch in as-is condition, right?
Yeah.
I will reach out to my guy. It's not Watches of the Vale. I think you have to have horses for courses. I have another guy who sells vintage watches and he sells Peter Blake's. He also takes trades and he will take your watch in as trade. What I will do is I will take your video. I will get a trade price on the watch. But what I'll do is I'll do it the Brenny way. I'll initially ask him to buy the watch, which is a lower price. And that will be his starter. And then I'll say, well, what if we trade the watch? And I would assume automatically he would add 200 to the price. Because trade is different to buying, and then from that I can deduce whether we can have a Peter Blake or not, and then I'll then hook the two of you up, and then you'll just do a swap. And I know this guy, and that's who I got my Peter Blake off, and he sells Peter Blake's all day. The only thing I do, which is different to other people, is I always make sure it's a UK full set. And I don't know why I do that. I think it just stuck in my head that I'd rather have one that originally started in the UK.
Because they can be polished to death, maybe, and that kind of all.
They can, and they polish everything, and they charge very low money to polish, so there's nothing wrong with polishing the watch every year.
No.
Which is something we don't do. So so we might have to pay a tiny premium, but I'm pretty sure you can get a Japanese full set imported for less than what you were offered by Watchfinder. And the reason I like full sets, I just do. I always have, always will. I like having them. You never use them. You never wear the box. But it's just nice to have a full set, and they do exist. To me, a naked watch it's not junk, but it's it's pretty much that's all that's left of it. And how has it got to that stage? It has not been loved. If the watch is a full set, it's been in the hands of somebody that loves watches. If it's naked, it's basically, it could have been thrown from pillar to post, and there's more to the story. And
I agree. You've got to be careful, because there's a lot out there where Peter Blake's, where there'll be a fake card on it. They'll tell you it's not the original box and not the original card. But there's kind of that middle of the road, isn't there, where you've got a full set up towards the £3,000, lovely thing, full card, full box original, rare. Then you've got £2,000, which is a naked, might need a bit of a polish, and then that kind of middle around the 2.5 mark, where it will just be a box from anywhere that says Amiga on it, and some made up cards sometimes, because they're widely available.
Well, my guy's on a different scale. He doesn't sell naked Peter Blakes. A full set Peter Blake not serviced in working condition is 2.4. A mint one is 2.8, and a serviced one as in serviced 2 or 3 years ago, is 2.9. Those are the numbers you need to be working for. So I'm so glad you didn't do the deal, because you would have bought another. And when I say the word crapper, I don't mean the watch is crap. You just would have bought another you would have been done again. You'd have been done twice. But what I would like you to do, Kevin, is when you get a chance, I'd like you to put in a sell price on a 225450 naked to Watchfinder, and then that will just confirm what I just told you. They're selling you they're selling you a £1,500 watch for £3,000.
Absolutely, and it's the same with the Seamasters. You know, the newer model 300M. They've got them up between 3.5, 4 grand. They'll give you 28. I don't care if
They won't give you. They won't give you 28. They won't give you 28.
I think I'm being strong because I've been there. I've done it. I've had a white dial and I've had it, not quite loved it as much as I thought because it's got a big chunky, great glide lock.
Yeah.
But it's a chunk, and I just couldn't fall in love with it. Superb watch.
Yeah.
But you come to sell it, you know, you'll struggle to get 3 on it yourself on eBay as a private seller. They'll gouge your eyes out, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I just got a subscriber one for 2021 from the same guy we're talking about for 3,400, and he bought the wrong one if you ask me. He wanted an all black one. I said that's not a wise buy. I said please buy the white dial. If you need to sell it, it'll go a lot quicker. He just wasn't getting the hint, but he said I'm never going to sell it. I said I know, I've heard all this before. And
we've all done it.
So he bought. I mean, in order of saleability, the blue is the worst, then the black. The new green one is probably the top, but the white one just stands the test of time. It'll be the most popular in decades to come. It'll be the one everybody wants. Some people want what they want. So yeah, but even that one you would struggle to sell it, but it's your best chance. Right, well I really appreciate you coming on. Would you use Watchfinder again?
No.
Do me a favour, if there's a problem when the watch comes back, we'll have to do a follow-up video.
Yeah, I could be very upset. But what I'll do is when it does come back, I'll do a video. I'll Instagram you the video of the watch. The pictures I've sent don't kind of do it justice.
Yeah. Brilliant. Thank you so much, Kevin. Thanks for coming on.
Pleasure. Take care.
Take care, mate. Bye-bye.